Hello my lovelies, this is the Moon Gypsy. The full moon is upon us tomorrow. You know the full moon is my favorite time of the month. So I wanted to talk to you about a ritual for this month to release all the things that are causing us not to be able to heal mentally and physically. So our project this month is doll babies or poppets for healing. This is a poppet or a doll baby, just in case you don't know. I'm going to tell you really quickly and briefly how to make it. If you have any questions after that, you can leave them in the comments, and I'll be happy to give you any explanation. I'm trying not to ramble on in this and take too long. So this is what it looks like. Now I'm going to tell you briefly how to make it. So first, you're going to get a piece of paper and cut out a stick figure type person that's going to represent you. It's just plain and simple. You're going to get that. You're going to pick out your material that represents something that you like. In my case, I love the sugar skulls, so I picked sugar skull material. Then you just take the pattern and you trace out two from the pattern, because that's what you're going to sew together. So I want to show you this material that I got at Walmart. Real simple. In the sewing section, they have these squares. They're actually really big when you unfold them. 97 cents or 98 cents, something like that, for one. And you could probably get 10 poppets out of it, or 10 doll babies. Or you could make you a couple of the poppets and then make some of the drawstring bags. That's what I'm going to use it for. So, to start, what I do is put on some kind of relaxing music, make sure everybody's gone out of the area, the dogs, the people, the kids, everything, so I can just center on me. So I put on the relaxing music, I light the candles, I always have sage in the house, so I'll light some sage. I have the coal burners. I make my own incense, so usually I'll put on ones that have the cinnamon in there for protection and healing. Any of the healing herbs are in there. So once I get the mood set, then I start to trace out my poppets, and I make two, like I said, and then when I get them cut out, I'm going to stitch them together. Now you can do it two ways. I think when I do the next one, because this was my trial one, I'll just stitch on the outside, leaving the opening at the head, and so I can stuff it. This time, I turned them wrong side out, stitched backwards, stitched on to turn it later. So it was really hard to do it that way. So I stitched it up with the material wrong side, and then when I got and left the opening at the head, and then when I got to the head, I was going to turn it right side out. And that's when I had my little problems. And it really didn't wind up to be too big of a disaster. So I started to flip it, and what happened was one leg got stuck in there and I couldn't get it out, and then the stitching came undone. But that's kind of like life. In life, sometimes your stitching comes undone. And what we do is we fix it. Or we can sit and wallow in it. But I didn't have time to wallow in it. I wanted to make sure to get it done. So I just stayed relaxed, pulled it out how it was supposed to be, and restitched it. So it was pretty easy. Anyway, when I got it all together, then I decided, what am I going to stuff it with? Normally you would probably stuff it with the cotton batting or something like that. But I decided I wanted to put things in it that were special to me, because it's going to heal with me. So I had two small crystals, and I put them down in the feet of it for grounding. That will ground me. Then I decided, what else do I want to stuff it with? And most of you know, or some of you know, I have this rose bush that my sister sent me. It was a little bitty baby rose bush, just a couple inches when I got it. I got it in the spring, and it has grown into this crazy rose bush. I call it the enchanted rose bush because it throws off so many roses. Every day when I go out there, there's 10 new roses on it. There might be one when you go to bed and 10 when you wake up. So I call it the enchanted rose bush. And every day I take offerings off of it and put them in the house and I dry them. So I decided, since it's special to me, it's healing to me, it makes me happy when I go out there, I've taken the dried roses off of it and pulled the petals off, and I stuffed the poppet with the petals. So I stuffed it up to the heart area. Then what I chose were some baby feathers. My husband goes and collects feathers for me because he knows I like them. So every day I find little feathers on my desk, big feathers, little feathers, but he brought me some little baby feathers, and so the feathers represent him. So I stuck them in the heart area of my poppet. And then I filled the head area of it with actual rose buds and went ahead and sewed it up. But as I was doing it, the thing that made the release is the stitch. When you're doing the stitch work, each stitch that you make in it is healing. You're healing yourself. You're fixing yourself. All symbolism in there, and that's how we heal. So, now that it's done, you have it all stitched up and everything. So tomorrow is the full moon. Tomorrow I will sew the eyes on it, because tomorrow I will be seeing things in a new light. And then when the full moon comes out tomorrow, I will put my poppet under the full moon so it can energize, and then in turn energize me. All symbolism, everything for healing. While you're doing this, all the way through it, you set your intentions, what your plan is, say your prayer over it if that's what you do. All the way through making mine, I put sage over everything as I did. I burnt the sage and run the material through the sage smoke. Each of the items I put in there has been passed through the sage smoke, and so any negativity around or any sickness has been taken out of the doll. So anyway, that was my full moon release ritual for this month, and I wanted to share it with you, so if you were looking for something new to do, you would have some ideas. As always, when you do your magic, you have to make your magic your own. So anything you want to put in the doll, you put in the doll. That's representative of you. Anything you want to change or whatever, make it your own. That's how magic works. That's how we heal, and that's how we learn to get better. So I hope you all have a good month. I hope you do the full moon release, and I hope everybody has a fantastic day. Blessed be.